Hey guys, in this video I'm going to talk about this new flight controller I just got. It's the LUX F3 flight controller, and this is a copy of the one that Luminaire makes. Got this from Banggood for $24.99, and as far as I can tell, this appears to be an exact copy. I'm not 100% sure it copies all the features. I'm going to test all of them and see that if it actually does or not. But from the initial inspection, it does appear that everything that is on this board is on the original, so it's going to be interesting. Anyway, the reason I got this board is for one specific build, and it's over here. It's the Martian, and it comes with this really nice PDB with an XT60 connector, but it doesn't come with a 5-volt regulator. So using a different type of flight controller, I would have to get a separate 5-volt regulator for that, and I didn't really want to make the build really messy with extra wires and stuff. And the nice thing about the LUX Flight Controller, it has a built-in 5-volt regulator. It outputs 5 volts here to other devices, but it takes battery voltage, which is also doubles for the VBAT, so it can detect your battery voltage and takes in, I think, from 6 to 24 volts up to 6S of battery voltage right on the board directly, so no need for a regulator. So there's a lot of reviews already on the LUX Flight Controller out there, but let's go over this really quickly. It's got a really interesting layout with these not really pin headers, but they're sort of like these solder pads on the sides. It makes for a really nice, clean, and flat build here. So if you have a very tight build, you can solder on all your wires in a horizontal fashion to these pads, and also makes soldering a lot easier than using the through holes. So you can see here we've got our motor wires. Our ESC wires are going to go here, so it's motor 1. Let's see, it's turned the correct way. So we have motor 1, motor 2, motor 3, motor 4, and it's just the exact same way they should be in clean flight, along with our ground pads if needed. The UARTs are kind of interesting because you got the transmit of UART1 on this side of the board, but then the receive is on the bottom side of the board. So you can see here they got one over here, you have one wire over there, and one over there. So it's a very interesting layout. You got the receive of UART3 there, and the receive of UART2 there, and the transmit of UART2 there, and the transmit of UART3 there. So I think that UART1 would be like maybe an OSD, and then you could use UART2 here for maybe your receiver, and then you'd also have your 5 volts. So it's got a very interesting layout overall. I'll see here we got some more stuff over here, like your current sensor, your battery voltage, and your RSSI. My understanding is that this should do filtered 5-volt output, so it will be clean up the noise for the OSD if you decide to do an OSD. It does also programmable LEDs as well, and I believe the RSSI is also filtered for FreeSky. So this is the F3 processor, but it has it doesn't use I2C, it uses SPI, so you can do up to 8 kHz gyrosync on this board, which is going to be interesting to see how we could take advantage of that. It does, however, come with the same gyro, which is the MPU 6500, which, as a lot of people have noted, the noise spec on this gyro is twice that of the 6000 or the 6050. So they do include some vibration dampening rubber grommets here, which I intend to use. So you use that below the flight controller on the nylon standoffs here to reduce the vibration going to the gyro, so that should help. Now I did already connect this up to CleanFlight, and it comes with CleanFlight version 1.13 pre-installed. There were no special PIDs or anything like that, and there was all default settings. However, I did go ahead and flash this guy to Betaflight 2.9.1. The target that you're going to use is called the LUX Race target, which I believe is the same as the original, and you have to go through this whole process to get the board into DFU mode by holding down the bootloader button, while powering it on, and then in Betaflight it'll show up as in DFU mode. Otherwise, you won't be able to flash Betaflight onto this. But then once you do that, you can then flash it using the settings that put up here in the screen. It's just basically you have to have auto connect or flash on auto connect, and then and a manual baud rate set to 256,000. Anyway, guys, just a quick little overview of this board. Going to be putting this on the Martian. Going to be building this guy pretty soon. I know I've been sort of waiting on building this because I've been waiting on a bunch of parts. I wanted very specific parts in this, and this was one of the major ones because it has that 5-volt regulator. And I'm going to have a build video on this guy pretty soon, so stay tuned for that. Until then, guys, I'll talk to you later.